Alrighty. I don't think India is here, Schwell. Nor is my webcam anymore. Alrighty. Let's get this game started. Hooky's Diddy Kong versus Slim's Shy Guy. Losers finals, finally here. Should be a good match, hopefully. We'll start the match from Hooky's perspective. The game is decided. Instant solid flat there, trips up Slim. Hooky does not finish the point. He definitely should have been able to. Unfortunate. We have reset to neutral. If any character could survive Shy Guy's baselining, Diddy's probably a decent option at the very least, but still think it's going to have to require Hooky to move up at some point to make himself win this. And there's a trip up from Hooky, able to recover against Shy Guy though, a very rare thing. And we have now had both players reset. Hello there, Bit, how are you doing? Both players have now reset this point, which is rather surprising in this matchup. I would expect most times for these characters to finish anytime they force a lunge because of how the matchup plays out. So far, though, both finding ways back in, both struggling to close out points. Let's see which one of them finds an opening and can finish first. True baseline battle happening here. A little bit of a weak shot from Slim, not enough to actually cause a point for Hooky, though. Hooky not really willing to move up past right after the bounce, which is fair. Trying to get some good flats that might just trip up Slim, but not quite finding him. Moves up a little too far, and that should finally finish for Slim. But Slim unable to get the punish. I can't fully blame him for that one. I probably would have gone for that smash. That's an unfortunate one. Hooky able to survive. That was a very close one. Diddy's got that flop range, though. One of Diddy's best attributes that a lot of people don't fully realize, I think, is his exceptional flop. But a great punish from Slim there to even the game back up 15-15. Diddy can lunge at a ball so far away from him, it's absurd. It really is a strong thing, especially in simple. We now see some continued volleying back and forth here. Both these characters, probably the two best characters in the game at actually slicing from baseline. Slice ground strokes. Probably the best characters in the game at it right here. So they both can use that as an option. They both have that little curve on it that can mix you up as opposed to the flat. And they are just going back and forth here, looking for any kind of opening. And not really finding much of anything so far. Going back and forth here. That's an interesting lunge right there, and Hooky gets the punish nicely. Able to just react to what Slim does there with that much room to work with. He should be able to always get that point, and he does. Back to some nice baselining battles here. A little bit of a weak shot from Slim, but not enough to really be punishable. Back and forth volleys here. Almost a weak shot. I think Slim actually saved it a little bit, though. And that, I think a topspin would have finished, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not going to say with absolute certainty. But that failed punish from Hooky will actually allow Slim to punish in the end and secure a 30-30 game here. This is looking like this could be a long match. We are 4 minutes into this match or so, and there have been 4 points. This could be a grindy one. We'll see. A little bit of weak shots back and forth. Let's see which one of them can make something happen first here. Some nice neutral flapping back and forth here. Continuing standard baseline play. Something will happen eventually, hopefully. This is where stalemates can really happen in this game when both players just want to stay baseline and not try to push any sort of advantage. That is when you get the true stalemates, a simple mode that everyone dreads. Eventually, one of them will have to make a decision and have to make a play of some sort. But for now, they are content to hit back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, hoping one of them trips up. And still no trip-ups at this point. Solid slice. Going back and forth. Not even any weak shots happening here, just straight back and forth. waiting for any kind of situation to arise or something can happen here, and these characters just aren't allowing it. Both very consistent with their options from baseline. They don't really have to hit a weak shot, which is going to mean it's going to be very hard to get either of them to actually do much of anything. This might be a true grind fest of a match. I like the double tap cross-court flats from Hooky, just a little bit faster than Slim is likely expecting. Compared to the slice, may trip something up. Hooky going for the drop in hopes of tripping up Slim, but Slim was ready, able to cover it, and we have a reset to neutral yet again after an advantage state was once again fluked. Although that was not a very guaranteed advantage state, to be fair. Back and forth. Almost trips up Hooky with that one, but not quite. Worth remembering that Diddy's backhand is a lot weaker, or smaller than his forehand, so you can trip him up a lot easier on his backhand if you're paying attention to that. Playing around that is a pretty essential thing for this matchup. And for playing against Diddy in general. Still, ooh, a weak shot from Shy Guy, but Hooky does not find the right punish, and now Hooky is still up here, though. That will probably secure for Shy Guy. The legendary Diddy flop, though, just a whole nother beast. Shy Guy does not have his guaranteed finishes in this matchup, it looks like, which is rather interesting. Diddy does have one of the best recoveries in the game, hands down. So it is not super surprising, but without Shy Guy having that guaranteed finisher on a lot of situations, that actually will be a pretty big negative for the character. Gives me a little more faith in Diddy being able to do something in this matchup eventually. Great advance from Hooky there, secures himself a 1-0 lead officially. That is one game down. Starting up game 2 here. I believe that was Slim on serve. I would expect Diddy to do a little better in this scenario, but not if Hooky intends to start baseline regardless. Nice catch right there, but that's going to be a lunge on the bad hand. That should not secure the point, though. The Shy Guy drop might, but Hooky able to catch it. Diddy's so hard to finish against. Absolutely excellent play from Hooky there. Hooky looking dominant thus far in this match. Solid slice, a little bit of weak shots from Slim. Can Hooky punish it? That was a good option, wasn't quite able to finish though, and doesn't have a follow-up to it, so it is reset to neutral here. Shy Guy actually moving up a little bit now. Slim not wanting to stay back because he feels like he's losing from back there. Everyone needs to make something happen, but what is it he can make happen is always rough with Shy Guy. Shy Guy does have the ability to secure a point if he moves up well, though. Great shot right there. They'll down the line, catches Hooky off guard, 15-15 in this here second game. Alright. Back and forth here. That was a nice angle from Hooky. Catches Slim sleeping and actually trips him up and securing himself a point. 30-15 lead in the second game for Hooky. If Hooky can keep this going, that he will definitely be in a good spot. If he can get a second game in a row, he will have a significant lead here. Slim definitely wants to get this game to even things back up before a massive lead starts mounting. Back and forth. A little bit of a weak slice, but not quite enough for Slim to really make a punish happen. I like that option, but not quite enough on it. Not quite enough speed. We got an angle battle happening, and Slim does come out victorious, but can he finish the point? He should be able to, yes. 30-30, great point by Slim all around. Rough trip up there, able to defend. Ooh, the drop, I don't like that drop, but Slim catches the punish, but Shy Guy can't cover the Diddy flop, and now we're just having a complete mess of a point that should end in Hooky's victory. So Shy Guy might have been able to catch that without a lunge, to be honest, and that would have secured the point, but Diddy does trip him up. Maybe he would have tripped, I'm not sure. Diddy does eventually secure this point. Baseline, there is a way to find an opportunity. It's when people don't look for those opportunities that what you're saying is true, Joey. It's not fruitless if you know how to look for your opportunities, but a lot of people don't follow up on those opportunities, and then we lock into these infinite battles. You need to move up when you get the small positioning advantage, and sometimes this doesn't happen, and this is one of those matchups where a lot of time it's just not happening. Regardless, though, another advantage state for Hooky right there. Very nice. One more point here will secure a 2-0 lead for Hooky, which would be significant for sure. A Great start. Slim needs to get a few in a row here if he wants to tie this game back up. I'm actually a little surprised that he didn't lunge, but that is his forehand. That's going to be a rough lunge from Shy Guy. 2-0 lead for Hooky.
Game server.
Right back to some back and forth here. You're all cowards. All cowards not willing to take a risk. Even when I play characters that baseline, I move up eventually. I'm pretty fast compared to everyone else. Even in my baseline matchups, my games still end faster than everyone else. I don't have these 30-40 minute sets ever. I don't get you people, and you're stalling for eternity. Regardless, nice shot from Slim right there. Trips up Hooky. Having a conversation with Joey on the side here. Ooh, rough lob there from Slim. Catches Hooky, getting greedy with the lunges. I just understand that to win, you have to take a risk. And if you are the one taking the risk, you will win more than you will lose. Compared to the person stalling for eternity. And I think I've proved that pretty strongly at this point. Regardless of that, though, we got a nice back and forth here. Slim with his first lead of the game, I believe, outside of maybe a 1-point lead early on. Let's see if he can get himself this third game and get himself back on the scoreboard for once. Rough trip up from Slim. Is not going to finish, though.
30-15.
And there we go. A nice shot from Hooky there. This would be... If this one is the... if this is the tiebreaker game of the tournament, we might not have time for Majora's Mask after today. 40-15. Great shot there by Slim. Slim looking to get himself on the board. Definitely a good lead so far. I'm already feeling my voice, and we just started. I don't know why it's dead, but I'm alarmed. I'm very alarmed. I'm already feeling my voice. In some of these neutral interactions, I might not talk as much because there's not much to be said unless I'm talking about something else. As of now, though, I still am going, talking about nothing. Back and forth, just happening here. We'll wait and see until something happens. Solid slices back and forth, not using flats for a little bit there. The mix-up between the flat and slice for these two characters is actually a really powerful part of their baselining toolkits. There's not a significant difference, but there's just a slight speed and angle and all that difference. And the slight curves on the slices actually make it to where there's enough of a mix-up to where you can catch your opponent off guard if they're just in the natural rhythm really well, actually. It's a really effective thing that very few characters can do effectively. Rough trip up from Hooky there, though, and Slim gets himself on the board, 2-1 overall. Hooky still leads. Right back to standard baselining neutral here. Wait until something actually happens on this one. Solid shot on Hooky's approach. Should finish for Slim, but Slim goes for the lob instead of the topspin and gives Hooky a chance back in. Hooky able to easily reset that one. And we are back to our baseline here. I in general think you can't try to out-baseline Shy Guy. And yes, Slim has definitely played a very clean baseline Shy Guy in this tournament. Great call out there by Hooky. Gets, in that point, you just kind of have to take a 50-50, but in the end, it still secures for Slim. 15-0, Slim leads on this here fourth game. Hooky's still up 2-1 overall. Weak shot to some extent, but not weak enough to really make much happen. That was a bullet of a flat, but it wasn't quite enough to do the damage needed. Weak flat, but not enough. Just back and forth here, back and forth, back and forth. Nice catch. Hooky moving up a little bit, doesn't spot his opportunity, backs up, but at least he was trying. And then he slips up on a rather silly shot, I'd say, but able to recover. Slim hits ball into him. He's able to get back on the court successfully. And we are back to standard baseline neutral. Back to waiting for someone to make something happen. Or someone to make a rather tremendous slip-up. Yeah. Yeah. I don't trust Luigi in this mode. Luigi is not trash, Luigi sucks, remember? But yes, Luigi's not nearly as good as people thought. Still fine, but he's not great. I know, I really don't think he's a very impressive character in this mode at all. I don't think he's anywhere near the top, and not something that should really be feared anymore. After this game, I will switch to Slim's perspective if I remember. Solid back and forth here. Rough trip up. And I feel like Hooky should have been able to have an option there, but maybe I'm just unaware. I feel like there should have been something, some kind of angle, but didn't go for it. Tried it further down the line. Sometimes you go further down the line, it doesn't work out, it's fine. Still 15-0 lead for Slim in this here 4th game. Good characters for beginners, Yoshi, Spike, Peach, depending on the playstyle you're going for, would probably be your 3 best options if you're talking simple mode. If you're talking standard mode, it'd be a different list. Let me know which mode you're talking about. Those are the ones I'd recommend for simple. Since we are currently playing simple. Rough slip up from Hooky there gives Slim a 40-0 lead in this here 4th game. Slim can score one more here, we will be back to even completely. Complete reset, and it's looking like it will happen. Hooky getting a little too aggressive there. Daisy's also on that list to some extent. Bowser's also a decent option. Bowser's just weird, but yeah, Bowser is decent for a newer player, I guess. I'm kinda on the train of Speedies are a little easier for learning the game at this point, and Yoshi's like the most consistent even if he has less range, because you don't have to worry about movement. Daisy's still on that list. I would always recommend Daisy to someone trying to play standard just because she teaches mechanics better than most. Yeah, Daisy in general is a good option too, she's fine, yeah. Toad's also fine, just a little bit. The difference between Toad and Yoshi isn't significant. Toad doesn't really truly volley that much. At least his volley game plan is a little more complicated and involves stepping back a lot. It's not really a standard volley character. If you're gonna learn volleying, just pick up Peach. It's simple and easy. Toad volleying is actually a little complicated. Worth noting, though, I didn't really mention it, Slim got his 2nd game here. We are equal. He secured the 1st game in this here 5th game. I wanted to switch sides here. There we go. And right as I switch sides, Slim has a rough slip-up. That'll be a 30-0 lead for Hooky in this 5th game. Yeah, I think Pepper actually put it right with Toad yesterday. I'd never thought about it, but I think he's right. His vertical range and his horizontal range are both great, but they don't have, like, it's not a perfect circle. The diagonal angles are really bad. He's really bad on, like, a high ball that isn't right on top of him. Even if it feels like it should theoretically be in the range. With enough charge, that starts to move back and forth. Yes, this is a full set match. Best of 1 for this tournament. This tournament, the rule set is you play one character the whole time. Most top tiers are banned. And it's full set hardcore only. Very, very specific rule tournament, but a very interesting one nonetheless. Has had a lot of very interesting matches, for sure. An exciting one, and this is all the way to losers finals. I await the winner of this in grands. I probably will not be playing that today, as I don't think I'm quite in the mood and energy for that, but we will see. Probably not today. Nice secure by Slim there, though. Brings us to, an interesting net. Slim only down 1 point currently. This game is extremely close at the moment. Let's see who can get the next one. Well, we get our classic 2-2-2-2-2 matchup again, which has become a rather classic thing in this tournament for some reason. Despite the fact that serves are typically advantageous in this mode, a lot of 2-2-2s have been happening where serve has not seemed to matter as much as you would expect. To be fair, this is not a matchup I would consider to be very heavily dependent on serve at all. I do not think serve plays a huge role in this matchup unless Hooky wants to move up right away. So there's a slight edge to Hooky if he even goes for that, but he often doesn't go for that. Great topspin setup from Slim there, secures himself an equalizing point. This is now a perfectly even game. That's the rush I'm looking for Hooky, secures himself the point. That is where Diddy can get an advantage with serve side in this matchup in return. Slim trying to blow some topspins by Diddy. Hitting him to the good hand's going to be easy enough for Diddy to catch, though. Hooky plays excellently around Diddy's bad hand, same way he does with Wario. He is a master of those weird ranged characters that have different range on forehand and backhand. He knows how to balance exactly where he needs to, has always been very good at that, as Wario always demanded quite a bit of it. Also worth noting, Spike even has it a little bit, which is interesting. A lot of characters have it. Wario, Diddy, probably the worst too. Spike pretty up there too. Typically, characters that hit the ball with both hands will not have that issue. Shy Guy, I believe, does not have that issue at all. Slim looking to secure a point here to bring himself to deuce. Hooky looking to take this point to win himself a third game and get himself back solidly in the lead. And Slim hits a weak shot, and Hooky's able to punish that rather easily. 3-2 lead for Hooky. Back and forths going on here. Let's see if someone can... ooh, a weak shot from Slim, but not quite enough for Hooky to punish. Rough Hook Slim trying to move up for once and actually trips up on his approach. Able to stall out a little longer, but that will be Hooky's point. Shy Guy struggles heavily and disadvantaged very, very hard to get back from a mistake as Shy Guy. I have to respect the approach, it just didn't work out this time. Shy Guy approach can work decently because if you get the approach, you pretty much just score. It's just a very risky option. Back and forth baseline happening again here. A weak shot from Hooky will pretty much guarantee Slim a point as long as Slim reads the situation correctly. He, of course, does. And we are back to a 15-15 game. Hooky leads 3-2 overall. Rough trip up from Hooky is going to secure Slim an easy point. Slim needs 2 more in a row here if he wants to secure the game. Wonder if Hooky can do that topspin cheese more here. It's possible. It's possible. Shy Guy is definitely a character you can cheese with that nonsense. Ooh! An interesting down the line by Slim. It catches Hooky off guard. That's a 40-15 lead right there. If Slim can secure 1 more point, we will be back to even yet again. Back to some standard neutral here. Solid back and forth, solid back and forth. A rough trip up from Slim. Calls the down the line though, was ready for it, but he's not ready for the second topspin as he's just a little too far back out of position. Hooky able to secure himself a second point of this game. 1 more and it'll be a deuce in this here 6th game of the game. The match. Let's see if Slim can close this one out or if Hooky can bring it back and get himself a significant lead again. Still a good amount of time left in this game. Interesting shot from Hooky. I'm not a big fan. I doubt it was on purpose. But it does, in the end, lead to a Shy Guy point. 3-3 overall. Don't hit middle, kids. Don't hit middle. It's bad. It's not good. That wasn't intentional, I know that. But just don't do it in general, please. It's not good. I promise. It's not a good option. And we are back to a perfectly even game. Slim able to secure game 6. This is officially the halfway point slash potential halfway point to a full tiebreak. Is Snorpy the one who even does that? Because I hope he does not. I hope he's better than that. I know he did it at one point. I feel like he stopped. Maybe he's went back to it. I do not trust middle shot. I think middle shot is an absolutely terrible option almost always and should just not really be a part of game plans. Great topspin from Slim, punishes the single tap slice. Something only Shy Guy can do that perfectly from that kind of situation, especially against a character like Diddy. But Shy Guy's got some absolute bullets of charge. With some absurd angles. Great play by Slim to punish that one. Rough lunge from Hooky there. Should secure the point for Slim, but he goes for the down the line. It was not a guaranteed cross court, I think. That was a good call by Slim. Just got red. Perfectly fine. And we reset to neutral here. Great catch by Slim there, actually, to stay in that point. I would have expected that one to be over, but he gets a nice catch. Good predict, and able to catch the ball surprisingly. Back to being reset to neutral here. I think that was a chance to make something happen, but I'm not sure. Just hitting it back and forth here, looking for some kind of opportunities, but both of these two are wanted here. Looking for any kind of situation where they can make something happen. Solid charged flap, and not enough to make anything really happen, unfortunately. Solid slice, another solid slice, that down the line. It gets a little bit powerful shot, but not enough to really make anything happen. But a weird trip up from Slim there. And yeah, a topspin against Shy Guy will just finish even with Diddy topspin a lot of the time. Obviously, that was close enough to where that's not always going to work, but in that situation it did. And that was with Slim reacting fully, so that was just a guaranteed point, a guaranteed lunge. Excellent play by Hooky to see the situation. And we are back to a perfectly even game here. And a great battle here so far, to be honest. Definitely a little bit of a grindy matchup, but not the worst I've ever seen. Spicy net. Not going to secure anything, though. Hooky was not ready for it and is unable to punish because of it. And it ends up leading with the hard approach to Slim securing the point as Hooky tries to move back. Nep ends up punishing Hooky after looking like an absolute blessing. And a great lob there after getting a trip up on Hooky gives Slim a 40-15 lead. Slim in the genuine lead for the first time this match here. If he can secure one more point, he will have his first game lead, which would be very significant for him, of course. Great topspin, but not quite enough to finish. Ooh, I like the option from Slim, but Diddy flop range is just something else. Diddy flop range has to be respected, and it is it's a hard thing to respect, to be honest. The flop is an absurd option. Like, the Diddy flop is just insane, and you see it right there. Diddy flop, probably the best flop in the game. Only one that could really possibly be seen alongside it is Koopa's, but I'm pretty sure Diddy outmatches Koopa's, to be honest. Diddy's flop is an absolutely incredible option and simple that actually can just end points. You do not want to underestimate it at any point in time. He can punish you for trying to finish. It's actually one of his strongest things, as he is limiting a lot of Shy Guy's guaranteed finishers, which is really bad for Shy Guy. Shy Guy needs those guaranteed finishers, and Diddy's able to shut down a lot of that. Really a really great thing for Diddy there. Hooky goes for the down the line, greeting on Slim, trying to cover too hard to the other side, and is unable to secure the point in the end. And we have a reset here. Just back and forth here, neither player willing to take a risk. We are getting a true grindy point. First one in a while, it feels like that's going this bad. We'll see what happens here, what breaks this open. Because something will eventually have to happen. Slim actually moving up a little bit. Not quite enough to make anything break open, but I like the attempt. That's about as much as you want to normally move up a Shy Guy without wanting to hard commit. I respect the slight approach and hopes of something. A weak slice from Hooky, but Slim unable to punish it. I think a double tap topspin might have finished there. Not 100% sure. Would have been a cool option to see. I think it probably would have got the lunch. True, Toaster, true. Nice topspin, but not quite enough. Resets back to neutral. This point is a real grindy one here. It does to some extent, yes, Joey. It does to some extent, but if you get enough charge, no. It's not going to do anything. It does in theory, yes, a little bit. But if you get enough charge, it's not going to matter. And that ball was going right at him. I think what it is topspins are stronger as the ball is going up. And because of how a single tap slice bounces, you can think of it, a normal shot bounces like this, and it goes all the way up. Single tap slice, like, barely bounces back up, so it starts at, like, you're hitting it at, like, a 30-degree angle up instead of, like, a 45-degree angle up, if that makes sense. So it basically doesn't have that full charge from it. But still, if you get the power charge on it, it's not going to matter. Just like if you get enough charge on a volley topspin, it's not going to matter, especially if a character like Shy Guy who has the offense to back it up. But in these few moments while I was discussing that, some points actually happened. Hooky now with advantage, and a advantage the 40 match here to take the lead again. Whew. Just saying, I'm trying to keep up my talking. This is actually really tiring for my voice. I'm worried for my stream after this, but we'll figure it out. I don't have to be quite as, I don't have to put on quite the commentator voice on that regular stream, so we'll figure that out when we get there. But for now, we got this game to wrap up here. And by wrap up, I mean we're at the halfway mark, probably. Especially if we go to tiebreak, this one could go over an hour. Very realistically. Rough trip up from Hooky, and Slim gets the lunge, and the flop from Shy Guy secures the deuce. And he just keeps this here 7th game rolling. Battle of the flops. Shy Guy not normally an excellent flopper because the range isn't really there, but he does have very, very oppressive options regardless. So, I mean, his angle from the flop is very strong, is more what I meant to say. His angle from the flop actually can secure points if you can get a good flop. It's just a little risky always, as Shy Guy's flop range isn't the best, and lunging with him probably means the point is gone afterwards if you don't score off of it, so as you're so slow, you have a hard time coming back. Nice setup from Slim there, though. Does end up securing himself the point advantage for Slim on this year's game. Flop, the good old flop, yep, the hottest dance crave of all. Flopping is a genuine good strat and simple, if you know how to use it, and have a character that can. Diddy, Koopa are the most famous characters with it. Most technicals have the ability to do it because of the angle they provide. Characters with faster covers are generally going to like it more because it's a safer option. A character like Peach can definitely use it to secure a point, but if it fails, it's going to hurt. Interesting slice. I get why he did it. He's been punished a few times for going for the topspin and the flop. So I can respect what he was going for. It's just he threw away his chance to find the point. Well, the call there is debate on what is more valuable. I would have definitely taken the topspin still and said, if he gets this, he gets the point, because it's a 66-33. You win in most situations. Or more situations than not. But, I respect what he's going for. Slim has a more defensive mindset, so I get why he would do that. I don't think the flop is that bad of game design in simple. I don't think it's really a problem. You should be able to lunge to the ball and hit a weak shot, and if you're able to get into a point where that can secure a point, I think that's fine. Maybe on a character like Diddy, it's overtuned. But I don't think it's a generally bad thing. I might say Diddy's is a little busted, but not so much that I would say it's even a problem. I think it's an interesting mechanic on Diddy, to be honest, as a character who's not that strong overall anyways. I don't think it's that bad. Perhaps you could say that characters shouldn't get that angle on the flop, and I would probably agree to that. I would say the technicals probably don't deserve perfect angles on their flops. Can Slim secure this point? He sure can. That will be Slim's first game lead of this set, and 4-3 lead for Slim. True, Joey. The thing is, that's not a flop, because flops are auto lunges. I do not consider manual lunges flops. by my description of the term, which may be different from what other people view, but in my mind, it's only auto lunges that are considered flops. Manual lunges are manual lunges to me, which are kind of a different mechanic. Some people might view that differently. I'm not sure if that's universal, but I'm more talking about the auto lunge flop. The manual lunge popping up the super high ball that prevents a net finish is extremely stupid, I agree. That really shouldn't be allowed, and it causes a lot of characters to get away with bullshit, yeah. The idea of the auto lunge is that it won't ever do that pop-up, which is a lot of times actually a negative, unfortunately, which makes manual lunging better, which is annoying to me. Sometimes, though, of course, when you have a flop situation, the auto lunge is better. So, you gotta kind of manage that. So sometimes if you can get to the ball to just auto lunge to it, it's better than trying to manual lunge. It's an interesting dynamic with that. I find auto lunges to be a more balanced thing in this mode for sure. Manual lunges can be a little stupid. Hooky taking net a little bit here, but not quite able to finish. Down the middle shot. Looking to make something happen here. I like that flat, but it wasn't quite enough to lunge. Yeah, I think that's probably a good call. I think that's a good call, David, for sure. Back and forth here. That's going to cause a trip up, and the ball will be out of bounds. 15-15. Slim still leads 4-3 overall. The entire idea of the charged manual lunge is really dumb to me. The derby strut, as we call it. I don't think that mechanic should exist in general. I think it's a very detrimental thing to the game overall. But regardless of that, Slim was able to secure himself another point, 30-15 lead here. Nice slip up. Can Hooky finish? He sure can. Just take the single tap topspin. When Shy Guy's that far off the court, he can't cover it no matter how fast he reacts. Great punish there. Some back and forth action. Hooky needs to get this game to even things up. Yeah, and the thing that's scary is, if you drop Shy Guy and he makes it to it, you give up the point. But, like, getting the drops off successfully also makes Shy Guy have to be more cautious of them, which takes away some of his baselining prowess. So you kind of need to do them, but just for the mind games of it, but you can't let him catch them or you're in huge trouble. Regardless of that, Slim gets a nice topspin there, secures the point, secures the lunge, and then secures the point with a final topspin. Very nice. 1 point away from taking a rather large lead here. Rough lunge from Hooky there, another rough lunge. Oh, but Slim goes for the lob. I don't like that lob option. That gives Hooky a chance back in right there. Sounds good, Mike. Back and forth rallies here. It could be Schwelly. It could be. This baseline battle is getting back to classics here. When Hooky falls behind, he feels like he needs to grind it out, and it gets these points where nothing happens for very extended periods of time. That's very cool. There you go. Back and forth rally here. This rally going back and forth here. We'll see who can break through here first. Neither player making much of an attempt to break through. Oh god, Toaster. That might be what this game becomes. Next time I have to spectate a full baseline match. Maybe it does end up being this one. If this match goes an hour, that'd be a great title. That'd be a hilarious title for a game like this. If I put it up, that'd actually be pretty funny. I might do that someday. Back and forth rally here. Be better if I wasn't talking, of course. 2 days these baselining for an hour. Back and forth rally here, getting very old. Slim trying to make something happen here a little bit, actually doing some top spins, getting annoyed at how long this point is taking, it seems. Let's see if Hooky, taking this time, can find himself an opening. Eventually something has to happen. And there's something happening. But Slim able to cover it, and with Hooky approaching, the Diddy flop. If Slim got the lob off, he probably took it to secure the point. I think he could have got a level 2, maybe not. I don't blame him for going for that option, but Diddy flop is a huge threat here. Diddy flop in this matchup can do an extraordinary amount of damage. And makes it to where against Shy Guy, Diddy really, where against Diddy, Shy Guy really can't afford to do Shy Guy's main way of getting net pressure off, which is to hit those sharp angled shots. Because it will most likely actually just get you punished. It makes Shy Guy have a very hard time because he pretty much has to lob, but if he starts lobbing that consistently, Hooky can very easily punish that. Becomes a stronger mind game than a lot of characters have in these kind of matchups. Regardless though, Slim's still back in advantage in this game. Right back to the advantage state here. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We'll wait until something, some kind of situation arises here. Almost a trip up there, but not quite enough to cause a mistake. That's going to force a lunge for sure. The double tap topspin just doesn't have the angle to do much of anything there, though. Slim able to easily catch that option, I would say, even. And yeah, we just go right back to a reset here. Slim making the approach. Very interesting to see. Apparently, he is getting tired of Hooky's ability to stall. Typically, you think of Shy Guy as the one that has to be aggressed upon, but Diddy looking like just as much of an unbreakable wall. With his extra range and speed, he can cover pretty much anything Shy Guy throws out from the baseline. Slim feeling like he might actually need to make the aggressive move. Which, simply getting Slim to do that is quite an impressive accomplishment on its own. We are at 43 minutes on the stream, so probably 40 minutes so far for a 43 game. Rough trip up there, though. That might secure this. That's going to put Slim on match point, or game match point, however you want to say that. One more game, he wins. And an instant point right here. The flop I saw coming, the flop! I understand why Slim's doing that, because as a Shy Guy, that should always work. But Diddy just doesn't care about what should always work, and flops yet again. You can't be doing that against Diddy, unfortunately. Diddy just has too much flopping power. Like, as Shy Guy, I can't blame you for wanting that. I would want that too. I would probably take that, but Diddy just doesn't care. Diddy's ability to flop actually playing a very, very significant role in this matchup today. Weak shot, goes for the topspin. I like that option. That's what I would have gone for probably, but it doesn't quite work out. Slim has a nice read. Whether or not single tap topspin was guaranteed, I'm not actually sure. I don't think it was, but maybe it would have been. Who knows? Would love to see a single tap topspin from Diddy on one of those occasionally, on one of those single tap flats cross court where you can get the angle. But didn't quite go for it. That's fine. Hooky now needs 2 game wins in a row here to stay in this game and to stay in this tournament. If he does not, Slim will be moving on to Grand Finals, which will not be happening today. I will not have the energy for that today, I'm afraid. We'll probably hopefully try to make that happen in the next few days here. Nice catch by Hooky, and Slim trips up on too long of a pre-charge, but still just covers the option. Hooky goes for the down the line, and Slim is absolutely 100% ready for it. Not much to do here. Slim showing some amazing survivability on the Shy Guy today, I have to admit. Hooky also showing a lot of survivability on the Diddy against a character that's typically considered unsurvivable. And honestly, I don't think it's a lot of Slim's mistakes in this match, actually. I think Hooky and Diddy are forcing situations that aren't 100% guaranteed. And that is huge. Yeah, Diddy has no finishers without net. It's really rough. And going to net puts himself in danger, even if he's forcing a lunge, honestly. There is always the threat of the Shy Guy angle on his flop. And, like, you just have to figure out something. But it's a rough matchup, man. This is definitely a matchup where scoring is difficult for either side, really. This is a very, very interesting matchup, because the more I'm watching it, this is an awkward matchup because neither character can score without approaching. Yet, awkwardly enough, it feels like the approacher actually might lose more often than they win. Which makes it one of the truest grind matchups I've ever seen, because you don't win from doing this, but if you give in, you're actually at a disadvantage, I think, on either side of this matchup, unfortunately, just because of how good they are at the stuffing approaches. Or more so how bad Shy Guy's approaches, that Diddy can stuff it, and Shy Guy has some of the best net stuff in the game. So it makes a very interesting dynamic here where you can't really finish without approaching, but if you approach, you're putting yourself at a negative situation overall. There Slim goes, though, finally getting an actual start flat finish that he actually can finish. Diddy unable to flop to that one. Good on him for realizing that he could actually secure that one and not panicking after quite a few callouts on those situations. It's a very, very interesting dynamic. Reminds me a lot of how we used to view a lot of Spike matchups, although I'm not quite as convinced that Spike can't approach anymore. But, in general, yeah. Back in the day, we used to say, oh, a Spike who approaches is losing, especially in the Ditto. The one approaching is losing. And whether or not that was true then is definitely true here, I think. Or at least likely true here. I'm not going to say definitely. But that's an interesting dynamic that we haven't had in quite a while, I feel like, where the approacher is actually at a disadvantage. For the most part, the situations we've seen in this tournament and recent tournament play in general have shown that the aggressor is typically the favored matchup. I mean, the one favored, but this matchup's just a weird one. This is a wild matchup. They have the tools to prevent aggression so well that it becomes the stalemate forever. And Hooky once again leading in this game and needs 2 games in a row here to stay in this one, but yeah, a little bit cursed, I can't blame them for doing this anymore, to be honest, the more I think about it. Ooh, the net, but Hooky unable to secure anything in it. I would consider this about the worst possible matchup in game design history, but 2 characters that lose for approaching I think is terrible design, and should never be allowed, but you can like these. Not even for the 40-minute matchups, but I just don't think this is smart game design to allow these kind of things. But it is what we have here, and there's not much to do about it. The thing that's interesting to me about this, though, is it's not a universal thing for either of these characters, really. Maybe Shy Guy a little bit. Shy Guy might be one where that's true. But in general, Diddy normally can approach. I guess maybe Shy Guy is a little universal on it, and he's the reason this is so wacky. Shy Guy is a very, very cursed character in this mode. He's very different. Truly sort of aggresses through just neutral. But the thing is, against most characters, his neutral just doing this baseline is enough to threaten to where his opponent has to approach, or they have worse chances by baselining, because Shy Guy should just win. But Diddy just has such amazing coverage from baseline, and just good enough shots that he doesn't hit these weak shots, he can consistently trade, and he has a few different options that, like, Shy Guy doesn't just win from a baseline battle, which makes this dynamic where they can genuinely stalemate like this. And the battle just keeps on going here. And it results in these kind of points where neither player is willing to make a move, especially as this game gets later. We are getting close to match point, potentially. Like, they can't afford to give up any more points. Yeah, this could be a 2-hour game if we get tiebreak. It really could. Especially as they are locking into realizing exactly what I'm saying, that they can't really be the aggressor. Although, as I say that, Slim actually did just make an aggressive move, but it was snuffed out all the same. At the very least, Slim was not punished for it, so that is good for him. But, in general, the first aggressive move we've had in a while was snuffed out rather easily, and we just reset right back. flats back and forth here. We got a nice slice there. Another nice slice. The slice is just going back and forth, waiting for something to break out here. Weak shots just do not happen. These two are too aware of their surroundings to allow that to happen. I could believe that there is a timeline where Diddy approaches do work better, Snorpy. But at least in this matchup today, it did not look like it, and I don't know of a better Diddy to prove it than Hooky. So for the time being, I'm going to say Diddy approach does not work. I would not bet my entire life on that statement. I would not say that there's no way Diddy cannot approach. I think the craziest thing about this is more the fact that Diddy can survive this pressure. Less so than Toad, I would think. I don't think his diagonal pressure is too bad. Diddy's range is pretty enormous in general. But the drop. Slim going for the drop. Shy Guy's drop, legendary if he can get it. Not really a character in a position to drop very often, but outside of Koopa, Shy Guy might have the genuine best drop in the game outside of the character with a literal drop gimmick. Great flop, but it's not going to finish, but Slim unable to get a level 2 lob. Hooky forcing a lunge, goes down the line. I feel like Hooky has gone down the line in that situation every time, and Slim is very clearly expecting it and not even bothering covering the other way. He is hard calling out these down the lines, and Hooky is playing right into his hand time and time again. I would love to see Hooky mix that up and take the cross-court angle, and it would work almost every time this set. But Hooky, it's a risky option. If you do that in Shy Guy catches it, you probably give up the point as opposed to a neutral reset. And Hooky's just not looking for that right now. Hooky does not want to give Slim a chance to secure a point. He would rather just grind this out and hope he can secure a point through a mistake first. As Shy Guy is easier to slip up on in the baseline battle, I would say, actually, in this matchup. By a small amount. Maybe, I'm not even sure if that's true. I think it's pretty even, honestly. I actually do agree with that take. I do agree with that take. A stronger commit would do a lot here, probably. Especially for Hooky right now. Especially on the Diddy, who can so amazingly cover a level 1 lob. And Diddy has showcased that he can catch these angles of Shy Guy at the net, and level 1 lobs aren't going to do anything. I actually do agree that if Hooky could commit a little harder and try to secure points a little harder, stay up a little bit longer, or at least dance around T a little bit more, and then try to stay and find a genuine approach, that likely would have a better chance of securing a point. Nice catch from Hooky there, though. I was really nervous on that one. I don't think he played that perfectly, but he was able to move nicely and secure the point in the end regardless. This back and forth, yet again, starting up. Hooky needs one more point to get this game on the board. Then he'd only need one more game to get us to at least the 7 games. But first he's got to get this one. After this game, we will switch back to Slim's perspective, if I remember. Assuming there is another game. I should say that as well. There's no guarantee yet. A 1-point lead is not enough to guarantee. And Slim with a great catch there. Diddy's topspins just don't have any sort of angle. It's really sad, especially from back there. It's just too far back. Okay, that'll work. That'll work. That will work. A little, yeah, I agree, David. I would have loved to see it drop, but that'll work. He gets the secure, and we are at 5-4. Hooky's still standing. Not going down without a fight. A rough lunge right here. And another one. This should be Hooky secure, but not quite able to finish. Diddy just can't finish from back here. Yeah, 100% David. That is a good read. You are right. That is 100% happening. You're right. And that actually gives Diddy an amazing time to get those drops. It's not the neutral drop you're looking for in this matchup. It's those ones when he's trying to get that safety backup where you could really punish him. It's a great call. But regardless, Slim secures the first point of this game at a second bad lunge from Hooky. That's going to be an easy secure for Slim no matter what. Yeah, that's a 30-0 lead. Slim needs 2 more. Hooky cannot afford to give up another easy point, or he's going to be on match point here, and he does not want to give match point 0. That is a nightmare. Needs to make a point or two happen now. And that's a nice lunge, but the topspin's not enough. He started mixing up those, but Slim's ready for it, unfortunately. Almost seems like Slim can react to those punishes, they're so weak, which is a rough time for Diddy, definitely. Definitely a rough time for Diddy. Diddy's finishing game, definitely a large problem. Safer neutral than the other speedies, but just does not have the punish game of them, which is what puts him below them in my mind. Having amazing neutral is great, but you have to have some kind of finish, and Diddy just really, his finishes are pretty bad, pretty pathetic in a lot of ways. At least if he can't approach net, which his net finishes are a lot better sometimes. I think it has to do with ball height, but it's a lot rougher. And getting into net on Shy Guy is a little rough. But it's been, I feel like Diddy should be able to, but Hooky's just not going to be willing to take a risk like that at this point. Not unless he can get this next game at least. It would be stupid to. He has to come up with 4 points before Slim gets 2. Simply trying to approach right now feels like a death wish, and I get that. But I don't know how he's going to secure points otherwise. We are closing in on an hour match, even if this game is to end possibly very soon here. That's going to secure Slim with the 40-0 match point to move on to Grands. Hooky has to make it happen now, and he's probably going to just get even safer with it. And that might be the right call at this point, because I don't know how he secures 4 points in a row with aggression. But I don't know how he secures 4 points in a row without aggression. Hooky in a terrible spot. If we want this tiebreak to happen, he needs a miracle. And for now, we just got some back and forth. Hooky not going to let this point fall easily at the very least, of course. Not tonight, David. Not tonight. I have my other stream planned, and I just am not feeling it. Tomorrow will likely be good, assuming that both these guys are okay with it. Whichever one ends up being up. Ooh, Slim with a slip-up! Slim with a slip-up there secures Hooky his first point. If Hooky can get 2 more of those, 2 more feels a lot more doable than 3 for some reason. Once you start making the comeback, it feels better and better and more possible and puts more and more pressure on the other player. My voice felt dead 5 minutes into this match, and now it feels really dead, and I don't think I have the energy to make that kind of thing happen. Sorry. A final happen today. But this back and forth continue. Oh yeah, it's going to be best of 3. Okay. Didn't know that. Back and forth here. Nice catch. Slim getting a little more aggressive. Still able to defend everything being drawn out pretty much. Can Hooky make this happen? Can Hooky keep the dream alive? We're running out of chances. We really are. A little lag spike. If the match had ended on that, you would have hated to see it. But it does not. That lag spike did not seem to alter anything in the end, which is good. Back and forth. Just 1 more point's all Slim needs. Hooky needs 2 to even get himself a safety point right now. But 2 points is perfectly reasonable. Back and forth, getting more and more flats it feels like. Trying to find some way to end a point here. Can we make something happen? The net trips him up! But he answers the shot, he answers, he's still alive, he gets out, and Slim gets tripped up. The net eventually works in Hooky's favor after forcing the lunge on him. Hooky needs 1 more to keep this alive with the dream of a deuce. That shot right there actually scared me, but it wasn't quite enough. We are back to the safety spot. Can Hooky get 1 more trip up, 1 more secure, and get himself out of this match point range? The movement mistake, but Hooky catches it. He's alive. He's alive. The drop. Hooky doesn't catch the drop. I feel like he was in range for that. The drop just drops in front of him. He doesn't press a button. That's it. That'll do it. Slim takes the match over Hooky.